God placed Adam and Eve into a beautiful garden, and it had all that they could possibly need. But it also had a fruit tree that God had forbidden them to eat from, creating the opportunity for a moral choice. He warned them that eating the fruit would be accompanied by death. To not eat from the tree would be obedience to God, and an acceptance that what God says is good, and what God says is evil. Being made very good, they seemed to have no desire in and of themselves to eat the forbidden fruit. They were content to live for the glory of God and the beautiful creation that God had made. But they were introduced to an evil thought from the devil. He told them that they could be their own gods and decide what is good and evil for themselves. This is a very important part of our story. Adam and Eve chose to eat the fruit. They were designed for the glory of God, and they decided they wanted glory for themselves. When they ate the fruit, a plethora of evil, immoral thoughts entered their minds, and they were terrified and ashamed. This is how sin and the curse of sin entered the human race and the world. This is why people do bad things. This is why people die. This is why we always choose our glory over God's glory. We were made in the image of God and are inherently valuable. But since that day in the garden, we have all been tainted with sin. Adam, the father of the human race, has passed down this sin nature upon us all. Today, every time we sin, we are declaring that we think we can be our own God. In this terrible moment in the garden, God made a promise. He promised that someone would be born, a future offspring of Eve that would bruise the head of the devil while the devil would bruise his heel. In other words, God was going to use a human being to defeat the curse brought upon this world. This was a promise of a better day coming. This was a promise of a future restoration of the world that had just fallen. But it was a promise that it would come with a cost.